You just landed at JFK International Airport. You're expecting the usual chaos. Long security lines, crowded gates, people rushing everywhere. But instead, you hear something strange: silence. Your footsteps echo on the polished floor. The TSA checkpoint has maybe 10 people in line instead of 300. Half the restaurants are closed. The departure boards show canceled, delayed, canceled. You look around and realize something is terribly wrong. The busiest airports in America are empty. And then you notice something even more disturbing. The air traffic control tower communication screens are dark. TSA agents look exhausted, some visibly stressed. Your baggage carousel isn't moving. Your connecting flight just got canceled with no rebooking option. Your entire trip, the one you planned for months, is falling apart in real time. This isn't a random bad day. This is October 8th, 2025. And right now, as you're watching this, the US government shutdown is costing the American economy $1 billion every single week. Not total, per week. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how this shutdown is killing American airports. Who's really paying this billion-dollar weekly bill? What it means for your next trip, and most importantly, what you can do about it before it's too late. Because trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why empty airports might be the least of our problems. Before we dive into the numbers and the chaos, you need to understand one truth that changes everything. When the federal government shuts down, TSA agents don't get to stay home. They're classified as essential personnel, which means they're legally required to show up to work. Here's the part that should make your blood boil. They work without getting paid. Imagine that for a second. You're standing at a security checkpoint, dealing with frustrated passengers, checking bags, operating X-ray machines, making split-second security decisions that could save lives. And you have no idea when your next paycheck is coming. You're worried about rent, groceries, your kids' school supplies. But you still have to smile and say, "Please remove your laptop from your bag." The US Travel Association just confirmed what many suspected. $1 billion lost every single week. Let that number sink in. Not 1 billion total. 1 billion per week. Week after week after week. That's 7 days, $143 million gone every single day. While politicians debate in Washington, American airports are dying in real time. And here's what makes this even worse. This isn't some abstract economic theory. This is your flight getting canceled. Your job disappearing, your local restaurant closing forever, all because the machinery that keeps travel moving just ground to a halt. Let's talk about what's actually happening inside these airports right now. First problem: air traffic control towers going dark. I'm not being dramatic here. The research specifically says some facilities have literally gone dark due to understaffing. Air traffic controllers are the people who make sure planes don't crash into each other. When you don't have enough of them, planes can't land safely. Regional airports are shutting down entire operations. Major hubs are limiting flights. The result is a cascade of delays and cancellations that ripple across the entire country. Your flight from Denver to Miami gets delayed because the tower in Chicago is understaffed. Everything is connected, and everything is breaking. Second problem: TSA delays that are absolutely massive. Security checkpoints are operating with half their normal staff. What used to take 15 minutes now takes 2 hours or more at major airports. Passengers are reporting extreme frustration. They're arriving 3 hours early and still missing flights. And it's not the TSA agents' fault. They're doing their best while working without pay. But when you cut staffing in half, the math is simple. Lines get twice as long. People miss flights. Connections are lost. Business meetings are canceled. Deals fall through. The cost isn't just financial. It's opportunity, it's relationships, it's trust. Third problem: airport operations are collapsing across the board. Baggage handling is slow because teams are understaffed. Check-in procedures are delayed because systems that require federal coordination aren't functioning properly. Boarding processes have turned chaotic. The entire travel experience has transformed from stressful to nightmarish. One traveler described it as feeling like the airport was abandoned mid-operation. Lights on, doors open, but nobody home. But the damage doesn't stop at airport security. Let me show you how this billion-dollar loss spreads like a virus through the entire economy. Imagine a row of dominoes. The first one falls, and you watch as every single piece tumbles in sequence. That's exactly what's happening right now. Domino 1. Flight cancellations trigger immediate losses. Flights get canceled. Passengers cancel entire trips out of frustration or impossibility. Hotels that were booked weeks ago now sit empty. Let's do the math on that. $1 billion per week. If this continues, that's $50 billion per year. To put that in perspective, that's enough money to pay the annual salaries of 500,000 teachers. It's enough to build 100 new hospitals. Instead, it's evaporating into thin air because planes aren't flying and tourists aren't traveling. Domino 2. Local businesses are collapsing. Restaurants near airports depend on traveler traffic. When flights are canceled, those restaurants are empty. Hotels in New York City, Florida theme park destinations, and business travel hubs are reporting massive drops in occupancy. Tour operators have zero clients. Transportation services like Uber, Lyft, taxis, and airport shuttles are seeing their revenue disappear. There's a restaurant owner in Queens who told reporters his business survived COVID by sheer willpower and loans. Now he's not sure he can survive the shutdown. The customers just aren't there. Domino 3. Small businesses are particularly vulnerable. The research is clear on this. Small businesses in tourist-heavy areas are being forced to close temporarily. Some won't reopen. Think about the family that runs a souvenir shop 2 blocks from the airport. They pay rent every month, utilities every month. But this month, they've had maybe 5 customers total. The bills are piling up. There's no revenue coming in. What are they supposed to do? This isn't a large corporation that can absorb losses. This is a family's livelihood disappearing in real time. Domino 4. Job cuts are happening right now. This isn't a future risk. People are losing their jobs today. Airport staff are being laid off. Airline employees are facing furloughs. Temporary and contract workers are the first to go because they have the least protection. The research specifically mentions this. Flight crews, hotel workers, local tour operators, all of them are on the chopping block. These aren't just statistics. These are real people with rent to pay, kids to feed, and dreams that are being shattered. Quick pause. If this information is opening your eyes to what's really happening in American airports right now, do me a favor and hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel because every week I bring you analysis that mainstream media won't show you. But now comes the most important part. Who is really paying this billion-dollar weekly bill? Stay with me. You might think it's the politicians in Washington who are paying the price for this shutdown. Wrong. You might think it's just the TSA agents working without paychecks. Partially, but not entirely. Here's the truth. It's you, the everyday traveler, the regular citizen, the small business owner. You are the one footing the bill for this disaster. And here's exactly how you're paying. First, you're paying through higher prices. Airlines are losing money on canceled flights and reduced capacity. They have to make that up somewhere, so ticket prices go up. Hotels have empty rooms they need to fill, so they raise prices on the rooms they do sell to offset losses. Airport restaurants are charging more because they're serving fewer customers but still have the same overhead costs. You're paying more money and getting worse service. That's the perfect combination of terrible. Second, you're paying through a worse travel experience. Even when you do pay those higher prices, the service quality has plummeted. You wait longer in security lines. Your baggage gets lost more frequently because handling systems are overwhelmed. Your stress levels skyrocket. The journey that used to be merely annoying is now genuinely awful. And you paid extra for that privilege. Third, you're paying through higher local taxes. Cities that depend on tourism revenue are watching that money disappear. When tax revenue drops, local governments have 2 choices: cut services or raise taxes. Guess which one they usually pick? If you live in a city with significant tourism, expect your property taxes to increase, your sales taxes to go up, your local fees to climb. The city has to balance its budget somehow, and you're the easiest target. Fourth, you're paying through lost jobs in your own community. Your neighbor who works at the airport hotel just got laid off. The waitress at the restaurant near the terminal has 0 shifts this week. The Uber driver who used to make good money on airport runs is now struggling to pay bills. When your community loses jobs, everyone suffers. The local economy contracts. Businesses close. Property values drop. It all connects back to you. Let me show you what we expected versus what we got. We were told that a government shutdown would be a temporary inconvenience, that essential services like TSA would continue functioning normally, that travel would experience minimal disruption. That was the expectation. Here's the reality. Air traffic control towers literally going dark. $1 billion lost every single week. Jobs being cut right now, not in the future, but today. International tourists choosing other countries over America. The contrast couldn't be more stark. Here's the ultimate paradox. The United States spent decades, billions of dollars, and countless effort building a reputation as the world's premier travel destination. One government shutdown is destroying all of that in a matter of weeks. Politicians are arguing about budget items and policy positions while the actual economy bleeds out in real time. It's like watching someone rearrange deck chairs on the Titanic while water pours through the hull. So what can you actually do about this? Because complaining doesn't fix anything. Action does. If you absolutely must travel right now, here's your survival guide. Arrive at the airport at least 3 hours early for domestic flights. Make that 4 hours for international. I know that sounds excessive, but with current TSA delays, it's necessary. Have a plan B for everything? Alternative flights booked and ready. Backup hotel reservations. Contingency plans for missed connections. And this is critical. Get travel insurance. Right now, it's not optional. It's essential. Without it, you're gambling with money you can't afford to lose. Second action. Support local businesses that are getting crushed by this. That restaurant near the airport that's usually packed with travelers, but is now empty. Go there, eat there. Bring friends. The local hotel without tourists. Book a staycation. Keep money circulating in your local economy. When small businesses fail, they don't come back. Your community loses jobs, character, and economic diversity. Spending locally right now isn't charity. It's an investment in your own community's survival. Third action. Pressure your elected representatives. This isn't about left or right, Democrat or Republican. This is about basic economic functionality. Call your congressperson. Send emails. Make your voice heard. Tell them, reopen the government. The tourism economy cannot wait. Politicians respond to pressure. If enough people make noise, they have to listen. Your voice matters more than you think. Fourth action. Prepare yourself financially. If you work in tourism, hospitality, or any related field, start building an emergency fund right now. Aim for 3 to 6 months of expenses. Diversify your income if possible. Pick up side gigs. Develop new skills. The job security you thought you had might not be there next month. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to prepare you. Fifth action. Share information. The majority of Americans have no idea this is happening. They don't realize airports are collapsing. They don't know about the billion-dollar weekly losses. They haven't connected the dots between the shutdown and their own financial future. Share this video. Talk to your friends and family. Post on social media. Knowledge is power, and right now, we need as many people as possible to understand what's at stake. Remember that image of the empty airport we started with. Now you know it's not just a photograph. It's a symptom. A symptom of $1 billion being lost every single week. A symptom of jobs disappearing from communities across America. A symptom of an economy in crisis. A symptom of a country that's shooting itself in the foot while the rest of the world watches in disbelief. But here's the good news, and I mean this sincerely. You are not powerless. Every action I just outlined makes a difference. Small actions multiplied by millions of people equals real change. Support local businesses, and they survive to employ your neighbors. Pressure politicians, and they have to respond. Prepare financially, and you weather the storm. Share information, and you empower others to act. The American dream doesn't have to die in an empty airport terminal. But saving it requires action, not hope. The question isn't whether this will affect you. It already is. The question is what you're going to do about it. If this video opened your eyes to what's really happening, click that like button right now. Subscribe for weekly analysis that mainstream media won't show you. Share this with someone who needs to know the truth. Leave a comment and tell me your story. Has the shutdown affected your travel? Did you lose a flight? Did you lose your job? Your stories matter. They're evidence. They're proof. And together, we can build a conversation that forces change. Next video on screen covers more about the TSA crisis and what's coming next. I'll see you there. Safe travels if you still can.